Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a set of teachings that were kept secret for, well, centuries. All right, let's dive right in. So, let's start with a big question. What if everything the Buddha taught in public was just the tip of the iceberg? That's the revolutionary idea from the Japanese monk Kūkai. He was convinced that hidden beneath the surface of the scriptures was a much deeper, secret teaching, a truth you don't just read about, but one you can directly experience. We're going to break down what that means and why it was such a game changer. All right, here's how we'll tackle this. We're going to walk through 5 huge distinctions Kūkai made, and these will take us from the very nature of Buddha's teachings to a completely radical new way of seeing reality itself. Okay, first things first. Kūkai starts by splitting Buddhist teachings into 2 fundamental categories. He gave them specific names, Kenkyo and Mikkyo. On one hand, you've got Kenyo. Think of this as the exoteric or revealed teachings. This is the stuff that's public, written down, and accessible to pretty much everyone. But then there's Mikkyo, the esoteric or secret teachings. And for Kūkai, this wasn't just another school of thought. No, he argued it was the profound, hidden truth right at the very heart of it all. So, what's the big deal? What really separates these 2 paths? Well, a crucial difference comes down to the source. Who's actually doing the talking. The exoteric teachings, Kenkyo, they come from Shakyamuni, the historical Buddha, the person who lived and walked the earth. And he was a master teacher, so he skillfully adapted his message depending on who he was talking to. But Mikkyo, Kūkai said this comes from a totally different source, Dainichi Nyorai, the cosmic Buddha. Now this isn't a person, it's the embodiment of the universe's ultimate truth. It's the direct, unvarnished, totally unfiltered reality, not a simplified version for beginners. Okay, so if this ultimate truth isn't simplified for us, how in the world do you communicate it? This brings us to a really fascinating distinction Kūkai made, and he actually used a couple of familiar terms to explain it. So Kūkai explained that Kengyo, that's the revealed teaching, it operates through logos. In this way of thinking, words and scriptures are symbolic. They're like a map that points you to a destination. The map is incredibly useful, essential even, but it's not the place itself, right? It's the classic finger pointing at the moon. The finger is not the moon. Mikkyo, on the other hand, is all about pathos. We're talking direct, unmediated experience. The true words here, called Shingon, they aren't just symbols for reality. Kūkai says they are reality. It's really the difference between reading a book about how to swim versus the actual undeniable feeling of jumping into the water. One is an idea, the other is the thing itself. Now, this fundamental difference in how truth is understood and transmitted, well, it leads to a completely revolutionary shift in the ultimate goal of the whole practice, how you actually become a Buddha, how you attain enlightenment. And this is where it gets really wild. The exoteric view often talks about Sango Jobutsu. That's the idea that reaching enlightenment takes practice over 3 kalpas, which are just immeasurably, mind-bogglingly long eons. We're talking countless lifetimes. But Kūkai's esoteric teaching dropped a bombshell, Sokushin Jobutsu. This is the absolutely radical idea that enlightenment is possible right here, right now, in this body, in this lifetime. So how is that even possible? It sounds amazing, but what's the method? Well, Kūkai taught a very practical system called the 3 mysteries. The idea is to unify your own body, speech, and mind with the body, speech, and mind of the Buddha. You do this through specific practices, forming sacred hand gestures or mudras, chanting sacred formulas or mantras, and engaging in deep, focused meditation. Through these, you could realize this incredible state of being right here and now. And finally, all of this culminates in a profoundly different way of looking at the world we live in, and more importantly, our relationship to it. So a lot of exoteric teachings see our everyday world, with all its messiness and desires, called bono, as an obstacle. It's something you have to overcome or escape from to find peace. But Mikkyo just flips that on its head. It teaches that this very reality is the path. Our desires, our passions, our struggles, they aren't things to get rid of. They are the actual raw material of enlightenment itself. You don't escape the world. You realize the ultimate truth right here within it. Kūkai had this absolutely brilliant way of putting it. He said, "From the eyes of the medicine king, even the weeds on the path are all medicine." Think about that. From a truly enlightened perspective, nothing is worthless. The very things we might want to rip out and throw away as weeds, our so-called flaws, our messy emotions, they can actually be the very medicine we need to awaken. Now, it's really important to get this. Kūkai didn't see Mikyo as some rival school that was meant to replace everything else. Not at all. He saw it as the 10th and highest stage of awareness, one that actually contains and completes all the other 9 stages that came before it. It's like the final context that makes sense of the entire picture. So, in the end, what Kūkai left us with is this powerful challenge to think about what's real. Is the description of something the same as the thing itself? Is the finger pointing at the moon the same as the moon? It's a profound question about the limits of our words and our concepts, and it's one that resonates way beyond just religious thought, even today.